Will you please welcome Mr. Tim Burton and Mr. Johnny Depp, ladies and gentlemen.
24 years just waiting for a chance to tell how I feel, maybe get a second glance. Now I'm gonna get used to not living next door to this. I'm gonna get used to not living next door to this.
You do it whichever way you want to do it, guys. Here we go. Great to have you both here. Thank you so much for joining us. You know... yeah, it's great to have you both here, and I'm really pleased you're both here together because I know you work with other people and you do other movies, but when I think of your movies, I tend to think of you as a pair. And you've been together, what, is it 20 years now that Edward Scissorhands first brought you together?
Yeah, one journalist said we'd been working together for 10 decades, which was before film was, you know, everything like that. So
I'm trying to work that out.
Yeah, that's a strange thing to say. Was Johnny the person you had in mind for Edward Scissorhands, or was it a film you were writing anyway and then you were looking around for the right person?
No, I didn't. You know, I'd never seen the show he'd done, 21 Jump Street, but I knew about him, and I just, after I met him, I realized he was that character. You know, somebody who, you know, he's always been sort of misperceived by looking like a, you know, poster boy, and inside there was always something different, and that's sort of what the character of Edward Scissorhands was. And
yeah, so I mean, you were kind of a teen idol at the time. When that TV show, you were kind of a heartthrob in all the teeny magazines and stuff.
They were working hard to process some kind of a character to shove down people's throats, and I was misrepresented, really. I mean, you know, 'cause as far as I was concerned, I was just an actor doing a job.
You didn't enjoy that whole side of it?
Well, I mean, I don't know that anyone... It's pretty weird, you know? You know, when you go from, like, not being able to pay your rent and then suddenly, you know, all that kind of bizarre hoopla and... So
you were deliberately looking to change the direction of your career and change the way people perceived you, I guess?
Yeah, I wanted to... I wanted the... You know, I wanted the road that I wanted, you know? I didn't want to become anyone's product, really.
You know, here's what's weird. You're talking totally differently to the way I expected you to, because I haven't seen you being yourself for quite a long while, and I'm used to you either speaking like this, like a crazy person, or, oh, what a words, white chocolate. You know, it kind of... You do those voices in the films, and here you're talking like a grown-up man.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I expected it's like kind of like normally it's like a Michael Jackson voice. But I guess we don't see you being interviewed that much, and I guess that's deliberate on your part.
Occasionally, I become a grown-up man too. Yeah.
But you're not you're kind of a weird person, I imagine, though, aren't you? Because that's what obviously. Because I don't see you playing normal people often.
I've been accused of weird. Yeah, I've been accused.
But you like being a bit weird, don't you?
Well, I mean, I just like to sort of, you know, I prefer to go down the road that I prefer.
Yeah. He's weird. Yeah, yeah. And coming from you, that's quite something, because you're no stranger to the weird side of life, are you?
well, I mean, what's weird? You know, I mean,
You two are. we got a double help in the weird. But do you go to Johnny first, because this partnership, it clearly works, and it's clearly something that you both feel comfortable with, but you do, you know, make other films with other people. Do you prefer working with Johnny? Is it your first port of call when you have a part, or are there certain parts where you don't go to him because you don't think it's a good mix?
No, I think I always go to him if I feel the part's right and think he'd like it, and you know, also he's willing to try anything, and he also doesn't like looking at himself. He's never seen a movie that we've done together.
You don't watch yourself back?
I can't stand it.
Yeah. Because you're unattractive, is that it? No, really, what, you just don't like seeing yourself on the screen, or you don't like the performance?
What I prefer, I just prefer to walk away with the experience of the process and have, you know, just to have that, and then that's plenty. I don't need to see the product.
You should watch them, though, because some of them are pretty good.
I might, you know, this one I think I might. I want to see, because this is, it's Tim at his you know, utmost. He's really gone far beyond on this one. And
well, it's a remarkable experience. I mean, I've seen this. This is Alice in Wonderland we're talking about now, Alice in Wonderland. And it's not the straightforward telling of the story as we recall it, of course. This is a different angle on it. It's a different period, isn't it?
Right. Well, I mean, I've seen there's been 20 versions of it, I guess, and they've all tried to, in some ways, be very literal to the stories, which are absurdist and don't really have a really strong linear. So what I liked about this was it sort of set it in a different framework, but just, you know, still the thing that always I remember is the Lewis Carroll characters, you know, the Hatter and the Cheshire Cat. They're just such iconic characters, and that's the thing we were focusing on.
It's a remarkable movie. I mean, it really is a very different thing, and I genuinely adored it, and so did my kids, I'm pleased to say. But it's really quite way out there. I mean, it isn't a kind of straightforward fairy story. It isn't like the cartoon Alice from years ago.
Well, I mean, people, they go like, well, it's darker or something, and then you had to go, this was written, what, 18, whatever, and it's like, well, you know, there's something that says, drink me, eat me, you know, that you don't know what it is. It's completely politically incorrect in a certain way that the story, you know, and this was, you know, as we said, if this story were written now, it would be kind of mind-blowing today. And, you know, it's been such an inspiration for musicians, artists, and so it's just, you know, it's in the subconscious of everybody in some way.
And you played the Mad Hatter as if he is somewhat mad. I'm presuming that's a deliberate thing. You went in there hoping to capture him as a sort of, not a kind of insane person in a depressing way, but someone who is touched by madness.
Yeah, someone who's touched by madness, but confused by the madness as well. I mean, I think the idea is that, you know, if you're completely crazy and you're unaware of it, you're home free. If you're completely crazy and you are aware of it, there's got to be some bit of trauma there. There's got to be some bit of damage there. You got to be, you know. So that what we were trying to do is kind of turn him into this, you know, like a human mood ring in a way. You know, that he goes from, you know, severe sort of depression to great levity and then, you know, intense rage.
Kind of like people, sometimes bipolar people swing from one extreme to another.
That sort of thing, yeah.
I think it's one of your, if not your best performance ever.
Wow.
I think it's incredible.
Wow, thank you very much.
Yeah. Let's have a look. This is Alice in